We are wandering hunter folk. Fire keeps us warm. Its light makes holes in the darkness. It keeps hungry animals away. In the darkness, we can see each other and talk. We take care of the flame. The flame takes care of us. The stars are not near to us. When we climb a hill or a tree, they are no closer. They flicker with a strange, cold, white, faraway light. Many of them, all over the sky, but only at night. I wonder what they are. One night I thought, the stars are flames. They give a little light at night, as fire does. Maybe the stars are campfires, which other wanderers light at night. The stars give a much smaller light than campfires, so they must be very far away. I wonder if our campfires look like stars to the people in the sky. But why don't those campfires and the wanderers who made them fall down at our feet? Why don't strange tribes drop from the sky? Those beings in the sky must have great powers.
It is of stardust we are moulded by vapors and fragments from the making and breaking of galaxies. We are the broken bits of our cosmos, moved by traces of embedded memory, lurching always towards our image of hopes unrealized and fading. The promise of our as yet uncreated wholeness remains, however weak. From this flux we take refuge in the cell of reason. From that prison of categories our cry is heard, that we are not solely the children of reason. We have glimpsed the land of the heart. The turbulence of present times recedes. The stirring of that which is beyond time and space reverberates. Our wonder invites us to make a journey, to stand against the false certainties of lesser tasks and poorer versions. Out of exile our words will make a plaintive discourse that echoes of a lost prophecy. Deep within we hear it call, offering more than a refuge, making a fresh story of a new time and wondrous space. A promise of the as yet uncreated joy made out of stardust.
In 1992, I became an aeronautical engineer, crafting a paper Apollo 15. Pleased with my efforts, I also graduated as an astronaut and blazed a trail all the way to the moon. The moon that my mum used to look at every night before bed. I never asked her what she saw or hoped to see in it, but I liked that she slipped off alone to say hello to it in her own way. I liked that she noticed it so well when everyone else seemed to forget about it and simply considered the sky to be dark. What she did tell me was that she thought the moon was beautiful, because even if I was ever far away from her, we could both look up and see the same thing. At home we had green and gold encyclopedias. I loved those books. They had the answer to everything, in the word, and in alphabetical order. I thought about checking M to read the reasons for Mum looking at the moon. But the mystery of it all was what I found really special. She deserved to keep that as her own. After all, she shared everything else in her world with all of us. So I left the secret shelved.
Did you see the stars last night? Like flakes of Achill sea salt sprinkled across a pristine parchment sky. Pergamon never saw the likes of it. A virtual library of mythical proportions. Here, the chained maiden Andromeda, the ruler of man. There, our own Columba, the dove. And look, Venus in March, bright, regal, and beautiful. But that's not all. The rocks on Sleepmore Mountain stirred. Portals opened to the celestial call, unveiling the heavenly constellation mapped in astronomical precision on our island home. From the starry, follow Ariadne's thread through souterrain passages to Giant's Grave, Crumlough and Cashel. A labyrinthine journey into mysterious darkness, deep into our very self. Faoi éan Spéir, I vermament neve, Jalrian the glór. A isci oscial na Spéire, a ghrian agus a gheala, a réaltí na Spéire, a bháiste agus a drúcht de gas sort, a hinne agus a háas, a uacht agus a brothel, a hnachta a heoch agus a air. Faoi éan Spéir, Jalrian glór an crochigór. A íonta agus a léanta, a tholis agus a godachadis, a leasa agus a scamla, a léifte agus a chnacha, a lúbana a ásan ar an talamh, a tobaracha a airige agus a amnacha, faoi éan Spéir, Jalrian glór an crochigór. A bhíle móra agus ga an lúisian sna hiiscí. A éonlaigh ile an éir, a anmhíthe agus a háinte. A daoine an taol ná agus fear, éasta agus óg, faoi éan Spéir, Jalrian glór an chruthóir.
I find myself on this land and realise I've never truly known darkness. Time in the countryside shed a light on my concrete life. I grew up listening to the streets, talking about how the lights are blinding my eyes. And I'm thinking, people are not that different from the moths at night, getting lost in London's lights. They come for the culture, hypnotised by spotlights, dancing around their favourite artists, throwing up hundreds of hands in the air, thousands of flames. Many come for the fame, drawn to a dream, lured by the limelights they want to be seen. Some come to support their team, to hear 60,000 sing at the Emirates Stadium, where floodlights pour in a liquid adrenaline. In a few dark corners, some are crystal balling. Most come for the promise of a fortune, magpie squawking. Others swear it's a spiritual calling. And some come to write their names in neon green graffiti glow splashed up a wall in the South Bank skate park, keep pushing after dark. Before LEDs and fluorescent bulbs, we filled the night with fire. And as powerful as fires roar, they never shook us out of balance. When blue lights shine during the night time, it pulls us out of rhythm. But fire red and soothing amber seem to be different. I never knew that the wealthiest areas are the darkest at night, or that most of us living in the UK can't see more than 30 stars. Who knew? A third of our city's workforce is up and out with the foxes. I wonder how many suffer insomnia and what the actual cost is. Light workers raise their lightsabers, cutting shapes in night skycloth. Security guards armed with torches aim at night stalkers and fire light shots. Nightclubs bass bump lasers into faces, red eyes doing the robot. When the night force flick on switches, they turn the star lights off. Moonlight was once the main light, now it's consumed by the many more lights. Nocturnal creatures can't find the shoreline or navigate safely at nighttime. Our circadian rhythms all out of sync, too much light and not enough closed eyes. So who gets the right to rest? And how long can we really deny the darkness? It's older than the sun.
Beneath the dark sky, I recall as a child how the night played on my mind. The call of the raven outside the window, lost souls crying as the wind did blow. I would call my mother to my side to explain what creatures dwelled outside, that I could hear passing by each night under a starry sky. Now don't you worry, my dear child, is what my mother would say, for when the sun sets down beyond, the fairies come out to play. In valleys beneath the mountains high, they will gather under the darkened sky, to sing and dance and song once more, in their many folds throughout all Shamor. From a lonely mountain after eve, a giant will rise from his tomb. Reaching out from beyond his own cursed sleeve, he rises up the moon. His pale soft light shining down, lights up again the holy ground, where pilgrims once came to pray for hope and a bright new day. Then from a door on a mountainside, the goddess will appear, for she lights up the stars far and wide you see on nights so clear. She flies out the skies as a raven, to call our souls back up to heaven. From shallow graves filled by blight, they will shine out in eternal light. So child, don't you fear the creatures of the night, for the wrongs of the day their magic will put to right. When you see the pale moon rising, the distant stars shining, remember that a new day just for you is on the way. With the passing of those days and nights, the years have rolled on by. This world has stolen like a thief the innocence of that young boy. For even now as I stand a man, I journey back when I can, to view the moon and starry skies through the eyes of that young boy.
We came to Ballycroy that night, far from the veil of light that we have drawn from dusk to dawn across the ancient tracery of stars. We came to seek them out, to seek the stars that made all things our stardust eyes searched. And there, between the scattered rags of cloud, driven south across the polar star and sinking moon, Capella nursed her kids beside the faintly offered stream that is the Milky Way. The rising tangle of the Pleiades cleared Nephin's dark and sodden brow. Light flying here 400 years, announcing winter, chill constellations calling, see us, as the clouds allowed. And I was calmed, and later took the wonder back to those who cannot see these lights, to tell them of immensity, of what moves there above the veil of wasted light, to tell them of the ancient night we saw at Ballycroy.
There is something out there. That draws you in. But are you lost? Even if you had all the guidance, would you get misled? A moment before it hits you, will you recall? What you are made of. What you are shaped by. What you have become. And what you can achieve.